legend. It's Exodus. I'm on my way, get up my way. I never slept. Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state never ever seen this. Jimmy Neutron, I'm a young boy genius. On a futon, I'ma give it that penis. When this shit's done, I'ma fill up arenas. Ooh, like Gilbert Arenas. Shoot my shot, I'm still with the demons. Ooh, I keep it thorough. I got 5 chicks in New York, that means 1 in each borough.
I'm a one-way motorway. I'm a road that drives away, follows you back home. I'm a street light shining. I'm a white light blinding bright, burning off and on. It's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give again. It's times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these, time again. I'm a new day rising. I'm a brand new sky to hang the stars upon tonight. I'm a little divided. Do I stay or run away? Leave it all behind. It's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give again. It's times like these you learn.
Yeah, rails in your mouth. Come on. Bring them out, bring them out. Hey. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Hey. Bring them out.
Hey, everybody. I still get walk-on music, even though there are like 6 of us in this room, which is pretty fantastic. Thank you, Hilton. Hi, everybody. I am Allie Merritt. I am your host of Atlanta Startup Village. We are on number 77. Normally, this is where I ask for a round of applause. We do have like 5 people in here. They could applaud. Woo! I don't know if you can hear them, but they're very enthusiastic. Okay. So, as you can see behind me, you can follow along online on the live stream, which is where you are. There's a live chat over to the side. We will take questions there, but we would prefer that you put them here on this slido.com Q&A because you can upvote other people's questions there, and that means if it's a really good question, that what we will actually do is follow up on it. So, Q&A, slido.com, and you just put in the code ATLSV77, and it goes right to where you're supposed to be. All right. So, and let us know in the live stream if anything goes wrong, you guys are having problems, don't worry, I will be watching it. So let me do a little bit of housekeeping here before we go into everything. First of all, thank you to Atlanta Tech Village. They have been our forever sponsor. They were our sponsor of like the 3rd one. I wasn't the MC then. And they have been our sponsor ever since. They are fantastic and they do a really good job. Not to mention the fact that I get to borrow like Hilton and Karen and all of the really wonderful ATV staff. So if you are a startup and you are looking for a space, then this is the place you should check out. They have a really fantastic community, even though a lot of it is now virtual. They have all sorts of safeguards in place and they're doing a really great job during COVID as well. We obviously couldn't do tonight without PulseSpark. This is where you're watching us. Usually I make everybody turn around and like wave to PulseSpark so they get a little clip, but obviously you all know about PulseSpark at this point because they are the reason that you can see us tonight. They were our live stream for a very long time, just if you felt like maybe sitting at home in your pajamas on your couch. That's what we've all been doing for a year, so I'm pretty sure everybody wishes that they were here in person. But thank you to PulseSpark. They have been our sponsor for a long time. They do really fantastic events, virtual events. You can get a little feel for it tonight, so please contact them if you need them for that. Okay, and then we do have a sponsor tonight. We don't have beer, and normally it's a beer sponsor, but we do have a really fantastic sponsor anyway, so I'm gonna read, bear with me a little bit. Tonight's sponsor, Brex, BREX, makes it easy to get your complete business account set up the right way with credit cards, cash management, expenses, and accounting in one place. Open an account online in 10 minutes and get an account number, routing number, and credit cards instantly upon approval with no personal guarantee. First of all, Hilton, I really like this. It means you don't have to physically go anywhere and you can just do everything online, which is great. Earn cash back on everything with your Brex credit card and choose the rewards that make the most sense for your business, like 8 times on rideshare if you're always on the go, or 8x on collaboration tools if your team is work from home, like most of us. Points are unlimited and you can redeem them for statement credit, cash back, travel, or miles. The Atlanta Tech community gets up to 40,000 points, you guys, and $5,000 in AWS credits. All right, by signing up at brex.com/Atlanta Tech. And Hilton's putting the link in the chat for you right now. We'd be happy to connect you with Brex if you're interested in learning more. And if you are interested in being a sponsor and getting me to read off a really long, fancy, list of the things that you can do, please contact me as well, and we will make that happen. Okay, let's see. Again, the Q&A is at slido.com. All of our presenters will pitch for 5 minutes, and then we will do a 5-minute Q&A, and I will be reading out the questions. So please interact, engage, ask the questions. Tell them they look pretty or they have a really fantastic kickoff. I don't know. Whatever it is, engage with the audience because they're out here doing this. It's a little weird having to do it while looking at a camera versus looking at all of your faces. So let's make this an awesome experience. Okay, we have 5 companies, 5-minute presentations each, 5 minutes Q&A. Bear with us, we're gonna knock this out pretty quickly. Normally I say give us a round of applause, so we're gonna do that because it's weird if we don't. So a round of applause for our very first presenter tonight, Clip It.
Life is a piece of mind. Seeking a find, I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride and shit. I'm straight. I'm on my way. Get up my way. I'm running late. What can I say? I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria, judging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring.
Hello, how you guys doing tonight? I'm gonna wait for the timer to start. Okay, it started. My name is Chike and I'm the founder of Clip It, which is an app that lets everybody experience influencer marketing by giving you access to hot and exclusive deals from local merchants. Our users can easily monetize their shopping that they're already doing and get paid with seamless sharing. So next time you're taking a food selfie, start thinking to yourself, I should get paid for this. Now, why is this important? This is important because it's important to advertisers. If you're a merchant, the question is, why do products and brands catch on? Now, the most common thought is that social epidemics are driven by a handful of special individuals that we call influencers. Now, yes, we all know people that have a lot of friends or are very persuasive, but this doesn't make them any more influential at spreading information or making things go viral. Sometimes what's more important than the messenger is the actual message. We all have influence to people around us. It could be your mom, your brother, your close friends, whether you have 10,000 followers or 10 followers, you're an influencer, and Clip It envisions a world where everyone is an influencer and where all companies can engage directly with their customers intentionally and meaningfully. And I'm gonna show you really quickly how it works with this demo. So this is the app right here. I'm gonna walk you through it, signing up. All right, so this is the home screen, and let's go through the process of purchasing a deal if you were a user. You would find a deal on the deals page, and let's say we found a deal called from Fred's Burger where you could get like 25% off. We would click on it. Now on the deals page, you would actually see instructions from the merchant for what you would have to do to redeem the deal. You can also view what's written in other reviews from other users. All right, so let's claim this deal really quickly. And once you do that, you would place an order. And now the deal has been purchased by you, and you can view the deal here in the purchase page. Now what you would have to do is create a Clip It to receive your rebate, because you would get a discount for creating that content. It would open up a camera, the Clip It camera opens up, and you could create your post. And before you actually create the post as well, you can also view the instructions of what you have to do in order to receive a discount from that merchant. So this is like an example of the video. So it looks good. And then now we can post it. And now that you've created a Clip It, you can share with your friends. And remember, You have the opportunity to earn money whenever someone saves your video and purchases that deal, or whenever someone uses your referral code. Now that you've created a Clip It, the content will appear in the coupon section as a usable voucher. And now it's a deal that could be redeemed. So basically your content, we're turning into coupons, essentially. Now it's been redeemed. All right, so some quick other features of our app. You would have a wallet. So this basically gives you a quick view of your earnings. You can receive a rebate every time you make a purchase, and you also receive money every time friends make a purchase after viewing your posts. And all that money you make will be saved in your wallet. You will need to link a working bank account in order to do this. All right. You can also discover content from other users, people you follow or don't follow yet. And you can save their videos as well, and when you do so, they get paid if you make this purchase from the same location, and vice versa. You can also get paid when people view your videos and save it and then purchase from that same merchant. That's how the profile page will look. I'm going to use the last minute to quickly show you how it would work for merchants, because we allow you to easily create campaigns as a merchant, so you could try out influencer marketing in a quick, effective way. You would choose the price, you would choose the discount that you would want to give your users for creating the content. And then what's also important is that you would actually tell the users what you want them to do in order to redeem that deal. So I'm just going through the steps really quickly. So you could set your own requirements. Now this is important for advertisers. If you wanted to showcase really good customer service, so like say for instance, people love Chipotle because the customer service is what makes them go viral. You can ask users to create posts showing the waiters or a new item on your menu. And that was it. That went by really fast. Thank you.
It does fly by. Okay, we are going to take Q&A. All right. So we've got some questions here going on, and please drop them in the Slido app or in the live chat. Christian wants to know, is Clip It only discounts, vouchers, fun times? Please ignore the extra beeping. Is Clip It only discounts, vouchers, or rebates, or cash currency as well?
It is also cash currency, so you have the chance to earn additional income when, for example, if you get a rebate and then a friend uses your referral code to purchase that same deal, just to kind of acknowledge that they saw the original content came from you. And then also, like I mentioned before, if somebody views your video and saves it and then goes and purchases that same deal later, you would receive additional income. So you could get paid two ways, the rebates and then from basically like a referral system.
What social media platforms does Clip It link with?
We're going to be integrated with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then also like Gmail, text messages.
Is there a limit on how much users can earn on Clip It?
No.
How is content moderated? Users and vendors?
Content will be moderated from the merchants will be able to, so I'm just showing it on the screen, but merchants will be able actually have to approve the content before it gets posted. So it's basically like a voucher. When you go and present it to them, they could say, hey, this is what we asked for, or this is not what we asked for. Then they could decline it, or they could go ahead and approve it.
Awesome. And by the way, the camera is there, so our audience is at home.
I feel like
I know.
Cool.
I'm sad.
You guys.
Listen, I like it when everybody talks to me, but unfortunately the viewers at home cannot see you. What makes Clip It different than other influencer marketplaces?
Well, right now we envision influencer marketing a little bit differently. Right now you have a lot of platforms where it's kind of like, first off, it's based off of the amount of followers an influencer might have. Ours, like I said before, everybody's an influencer. So what we're doing basically is just giving everybody the chance. You don't even have to have social media because you could send the content through text messages or emails and you would get rebates for doing that. But as a merchant, you'll be able to kind of look on your dashboard and count the metrics as far as how successful their campaign is doing.
What is the app built on? Is it a progressive web app or a native app?
No, it's going to be cross-platform.
All right. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? We've got several people jumping in. I don't think we've got a new one yet. We've got a couple of people looking for the code. We still have a few minutes. Any other questions we've got for the Clip It app? This goes a lot more smoothly when I'm just reading them and you don't have to repeat the question. Thank you, audience. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience since you have a little extra time?
Okay, cool. I guess I could kind of just share a little bit more of what I was sharing earlier, just how the dashboard would look for a merchant. The question that was asked about content, you would have the chance to approve content or decline content.
Oh, we made people excited. How does Clipit generate revenue?
Okay, Clipit generates revenue from basically each transaction. We would take a percentage from that. So if a merchant wants to list their deal on our app, we would take a percentage from that.
How many users do you have?
Well, currently we haven't launched live. We have launched the wait list version of our app. So if you looked on the App Store, you saw Clipit, that's what that is. We have about 9,000 people waiting for the full version to go live. We have about 20 merchants signed up, restaurants and fast food. We just deployed that campaign about 3 weeks ago.
All right. Anybody else? I think I've covered all of the questions.
You can ask me more questions, or if you wanted to email me anything, my email address is chike@clipitapp.com. That's CHIKE @clipit with a K, KLIPPIT, app.com. Or you could just go to the website, which would be more simpler, which is getclipit.com.
And all of our information is on the Meetup, which you can access through both the Twitter account and Meetup itself through the Atlanta Startup Village. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your presentation tonight. Can we get a round of applause for him, please? All right, we are going to swap out, and we are going to give another warm welcome to Musicians Atlanta. Welcome to the stage. And Chike, you have a great job, is what it says here in our comments. So good job.
Look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free.
Let me go right here. Let me go right here. Let me start that over again. My bad. I know I'm eating up my clock, but
We are ready to go whenever you are, Scott.
All right. Thank you very much.
And again, please ignore the weird beeps.
Get a pistol on your little finger.
I can't seem to get my.
Get a pistol on your
Here we go.
we got to listen.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name's Scott Allen. I'm a guy who's out here. I'm a little older than most of you guys, and I'm a little bit behind my schedule, so I'm going to be talking a little bit fast. I've got a lot more water under my bridge than a lot of people, and my story has a little more stories to it. But I think you're going to find that it gives me good reason to be here as a result. I started as an entrepreneur at 16 when my grandfather died and left me an El Camino pickup truck and a chainsaw. So I went in the firewood business. There's a lot of water under the bridge between here and there, but then whenever I got out of college, I went to work for Coke as a corporate marketer and did that for a while until I actually started my own business and then ran my own business, a marketing agency, for the next 25 years until one day I had a really bad Tuesday and I got out of that business and I quit. And I got rid of the business and went on and for the next 10 years became a teacher. And I spent the next 10 years deconstructing and reconstructing the entrepreneurship program at Gwinnett County Schools and writing a curriculum for entrepreneurship that ended up going national and international. And I only mention that because I want to make sure that you realize that we've got the experience to pull something like this together. Whenever I quit my job as a teacher, I ended up becoming a musician. That's what I had done for the previous 20 years. I had played maybe about 1,000 gigs, and I was very comfortable with out there playing. But as I went out to play, more people wanted to hire me than I could get out and work. So I had to start finding other musicians. And when I started to find other musicians, I ran into a situation that I'm sure anybody who's ever been in the music business or booked music knows. The first thing is, everybody knows a guy, but they never knew anybody nearby. They never knew anybody that was the right kind. They never knew if it was a black and white affair or if it was a grunge affair. And they had trouble getting the right musicians. They could go to the typical people that are out there right now. This is Sonic Bids, this is Gigmore, this is Gig List, and then this was Live Trigger. We've also got Gig Salad and Gig Master. Those are all people, but they're all very complex and difficult for somebody to get into if you're just looking for somebody to play at a country club in Noonan. The other thing was, whenever I went out and talked to the people and found the artists, I found out that they didn't have the marketing materials that they needed so that I could go out and then represent them back to the different clubs where they were trying to get me to book them. They were using people in the basement were using things like Bandzoogle to build websites and to build landing pages. They were using Clash Graphics for business cards and for posters. They were using Poster My Wall for show posters. The problem there was that there was no complete solution for working musicians to market themselves easily. So being an entrepreneur guy, I went in there and I did a business model canvas. We developed Musicians Atlanta. And at Musicians Atlanta, our program was such that we had a one-stop shop for clients and we had a one-stop shop for musicians. But we had trouble getting leverage. We had trouble getting traction. So even though we provided online presence for our musicians and a good group of musicians for our clients, we were having trouble getting the engagement. We found out we weren't much different than the other people. So we went back to our startup cycle and visited one more iteration. And this time we came up with a concept where we would add value. We did it by adding promotions by adding graphics, providing graphics to all of our stores, by providing series of music to all of our clients, by providing a full line of musicians that people could choose, and providing surveys at the end of our gigs and at the end from both the clients and from the musicians and from the clients so they could tell us what they thought. But the real traction we got was whenever we started to offer brand presence for new musicians online. We had a chance to give them online presence. We had a chance to show them how to get poster templates. Through templates, we had a chance to show them how to do email campaigns, Instagram campaigns, and what the value was of a landing page and of the email campaigns and all the sales that could go with that. And we thought, what the heck? The marketing program is what's driving everything. So there's 260 million guitar players in the world, 40% of them in the United States, 38% of the guitar players want to play for other people. So if I sell my Get Out and Gig at $69, we got a potential U.S. market of $2.6 billion, which is huge. But if we only get the percentage of musicians that make a living playing, I still got my mask on, then we've got 5%. So I went back and visited one more time, and this time we came up with Get Out and Gig. Get Out and Gig provides a 4-step process for people to get out and start playing music. Starts with a reality check. Are you worth a damn? Here's a lot of different checklists on different levels of musicians and what they do. How do you compare? What's your current value? The second thing is, what marketing materials do you have? This guy's a really cool guy, but he's not marketing very good. He could do a lot better with business cards. He could also do a lot better if he chipped and did our templates. Our templates are on the back. We also have templates for sales and for how to tell you how to get gigs. And then the fourth section, the fourth step is follow up and how to act professionally. It's a real business, so we teach you also how to run your business. Get Out and Gig is an online business which provides musicians looking to build their business of playing music for pay with simple and complete marketing tools. We have all these different things. We believe that we have the areas of revenue generation, toolkit purchases, website product design services, database sales, a lot of areas for revenue. We believe we have excellent exit opportunities, and we also believe that we have a real scalable billion-dollar potential business. Get Out Gigs here to ask for $250,000 funding for team development for the final rounds of customer discovery. We're also looking for equity partnerships for many of you tech guys out there that are looking for an opportunity to get involved in a great opportunity with similar-minded entrepreneurs looking for a scalable product in a demand opportunity. So that was fast.
That was fast. It goes by really quickly.
Really, really fast. And
Not
I
to
even
worry.
talked
All
extra
right,
fast.
guys. Join us in. Please ignore the extra beeps for
I like
whatever
it.
reason.
It's hard to dance to, but it's
You
got
know,
a good beat.
It just makes sure you're really awake. Okay,
Yes.
questions. How much does Musicians Atlanta cost to use as a musician, and what share do you take to book?
It's a freemium type site where you're going to have access to the online presence and a lot of the basic principal materials at no charge. When you get into the customizing of the materials, that's going to be purchased through either the suppliers that we currently use or new suppliers that we're working with, and we'll make commissions on that. We're not looking for subscription fees right now. We're looking for opportunities to grow the musician database.
Fantastic. How many artists are you working with currently?
Currently, I've been working with just a handful of artists. I represent about 35 artists here in the Atlanta market, and I'm working with them and working in the processing of developing all the projects and developing the templates so that we can go through it. We haven't launched yet, but we're looking forward to launching, and one of the biggest things that I need is technical help, because I'm a creative guy who's had a living as a teacher, and I don't have the software, and I'm a little older than a lot of these guys that were raised in the tech world, so I'm looking for equity partnerships, people that can come in and help me technically take care of a lot of those things.
Are there any specific genres with those artists that you're looking for?
Genres are all over the board, and it totally depends on who it is that you're looking for and what kind of event you have. I'm open to all kinds of artists, and if you'll see up there on the right-hand side of the screen, there's an invitation for you. You'll click to that, and it'll ask you to subscribe, and it'll give you a list of our professional music capabilities list. So everybody knows a musician, and everybody knows somebody that wants to get out and play. And everybody knows somebody that does play and plays well. But how well do they play? Get the list there off that, check it out, and I'll send it to you, and you can talk to them and see if they're ready for the road.
Scott, how can they find that list? Is it on your website?
That is on my website, as a matter of fact, but the best way for you to get it right now is to click on that little sucker right up there that's got the little circle on it, the invitation.
What is your marketing plan?
My marketing plan, I can go back to that. I'm based on a business model canvas. I taught marketing plans for 9 years or for 6 years in the school system, and then did some work with Steve Blank and some other people out in California, and found out that the lean startup process was a much more efficient process. And with a good MVP and with solid customer discovery, I've been able to rotate through 3 iterations in the last about 18 months.
Do y'all have any problems going up against other talent managing agencies or agents?
Most of the talent management agencies have 2 restrictions on them. One, they're either too broad, so when you finally find the people that you want when you're on site, they may be from Carlsbad, California, but willing to travel. Or the other thing that we find is that the agents locally have a certain group of people that they represent, and they're restricted to those people, and they don't want to look broader. Most of the agents that I work with, or that I'm familiar with, and who book me for a lot of the gigs that I did it, have certain acts that they work with that they continue to push. And I'm looking for an opportunity for new musicians to become working musicians. I don't want to tell anybody they're going to become a superstar. I don't want anybody to go out and play for beer. I want you to become somebody like me who makes $10,000 or $20,000 a year just out playing for country clubs and private parties and having a good time as a working musician. That's who I'm providing these tools to.
How has your business model shifted during COVID?
My business model was deflated like a son of a gun during COVID. I had nothing but gigs canceled for the first few months. I have a lot of friends, though, who are full-time musicians. I'm not a full-time musician. I do it, I gig maybe 55, 60 times a year now. But as a COVID person, the people that I've seen that have been successful in the music business have continued to push hard on their Instagram, push hard on their Facebook, to push hard in getting out. They need the marketing materials. Those are the people that are getting the work, and those are the people that have what we're trying to offer.
I have 2 questions I'm going to roll in together because it has to do with, are you planning to expand this to other local markets like Nashville or Orlando, and talk about your plan to scale? How do you get 300 musicians on your platform, and what geographies are you focused on?
Dang, that's a long question.
It is. You got 30 seconds.
All right. How did it start again?
Are you planning to expand to other local markets?
As the people expand, and as we continue to push the product out to the different markets, or to the different, online, we're going to get a lot of people from different markets other than Atlanta. We believe that there's also revenue opportunity to set up musicians Birmingham, musicians Nashville, musicians Denver, depending on what kind of people we get from the different areas. But they would all be supported with the same marketing materials.
Fantastic. Give Scott a round of applause.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Scott's information, just like the rest of our presenters, is on the side of the live stream. All right, we are going to swap out now for our 3rd presenter of the night.
Check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Head toss, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Woo, child,
all right, let's give a round of applause to Empiricus. This is less effective when I don't have 500 of y'all to browbeat into applauding, just so you know.
But you have to try. If you need advice, let me simplify. If he don't love you anymore.
Reminder to follow the links on the side, you guys, and drop your questions into Slido.
I do my hair talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell, baby, how you feeling? Woo, girl, need to kick off your shoes.
Live demo, guys. Bear with us.
Have it all, no sacrifice. I know we did you wrong, we can make it right. So go and let it all hang out tonight. Cause he don't love you anymore.
Test this, I promise.
So walk your fine self out the door. And do your hair talk. Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right, guys, give us a second.
Hair talk.
We're going to get him all plugged in and up and running here in just a minute. Again, you can follow the conversation at hashtag ATLSV. All right, Empiricus, you are good to go. Take it away.
All right, great. It's nice to meet everyone virtually. My name is Osama Hashmi. I'm a dermatology resident physician at Emory, and I'm CTO and co-founder of Empiricus. At Empiricus, we're solving a really simple problem, which is that 80% of doctors like me aim to engage with pharma, but only 20% do. In my practice, when I'm seeing patients, oftentimes a connection with the pharmaceutical company can help me get patients a lot of things. Whether it's samples, access to copay cards, financial assistance programs, there's a lot of benefit from working with pharma for my patients. Unfortunately, it's also really difficult to get in touch with the right company, figuring out hundreds of different websites, hundreds of different forms, and then when I do find them, oftentimes they're paper forms that I have to print out, fax, and kind of track up myself. And so to solve this problem, we built Empiricus. I bring kind of the physician and technology side of things, but my co-founder Sandy worked on the other side, where he's worked as global head of omnichannel engagement for UCB Pharma, a $14 billion pharmaceutical company, trying to figure out ways to better engage physicians and have resources built for patients. He controlled millions of dollars of budget, and what he saw were that the solutions currently out there for physicians were very similar to what I was experiencing. At worst, ineffective, but as you've heard from many news stories, oftentimes unethical. So what is Empiricus? Empiricus is a trusted third-party platform for physicians to access and engage resources for their patients. The product is fairly simple. We are a web application, also native on iOS and Android, where a physician like myself can access all the resources that they need for their patients in a single place. Additionally, we offer something called Empiricus Concierge, where we use natural language processing with Twilio to allow doctors to text us and say, hey, what samples are available for me today? Or hey, I need to find someone to help me with this problem. We launched 6 months ago and then built our first version of the product, launched the product in November, and the uptake has been huge. In 2021, we're expanding throughout dermatology. We already have hundreds of doctors on our system and many more on a wait list. We've had zero churn from our doctors, and it's been amazing being able to get patients on clinical trials, get group discounts for important medical supplies, and then also deliver lots of samples to these physicians. We've been so successful that we've been engaged from national physician societies to expand this throughout their societies and have official sponsorship with them. So how do we make money? This is from the pharma side. So we charge pharmaceutical companies $200 per doctor per month to keep their information up to date on our system and have their information be available at the point of care for doctors. After launching in November, we've already had 18 pharmaceutical companies reach out to us saying that they want to get their doctors and their resources on our network. And over the next 3 months, we have about $70,000 worth of pilots that we're executing. We're also working with some of the biggest names in dermatology and some of the best brands, which is really exciting for a startup that just started 6 months ago. Throughout this process, we've been bootstrapping, but the uptake has been really engaging and really exciting. And so we started raising a seed round earlier this month with the plan to raise $500,000 as a safe at a $5 million cap. It's really exciting to tell you guys that over the past 3 weeks since starting this round, we've already closed on $300,000. So that's Empiricus. We're really excited to be solving this really important problem in our healthcare industry for both doctors, patients, and a lot of the people who develop these therapies for us. If you guys have any interest in collaborating, working, investing, or any other parts, want to send us just a meme, feel free to email Sandy at sandy@empiricus.com or send us a text. Thank you very much.
I don't think I've ever had anybody wrap beautifully like a minute early. So fantastic. You get extra question time. Okay. Put your questions onto Slido, everybody. Please join us there. The hot link is in the chat on the side of the box there. And people are just starting to type in, so you got to give them a second. They weren't expecting you to finish early. This is a lot of pressure on all the other presenters now. Is there anything else you'd like to tell them while we're waiting for
Well,
our first question?
while we're waiting, since I obviously had presentation issues, we have a little bit of a demo I can kind of click through while if you guys have any questions. So this is what it looks like from a web app perspective. As a physician, I can see, the resources, so different things that are tailored to me in my practice. I can also connect and see a roster of all the different people that, instead of having to carry a Rolodex, it's just an active roster of the companies and the people who can help me. And secondly, this is my favorite part, which is just digitizing some forms and having the physician able to send in electronic signatures. We're verifying all the physicians on our system. We're getting their license numbers, things like that. And so it's become really easy for them to then send in requests. The last piece is that concierge piece, where we use natural language processing to figure out some questions and answer them. And so we've been able to help out a lot of physicians, a lot of patients, and it's been really exciting so far.
Is there another medical field you think would be the next best step after dermatology?
Yeah, for sure. So we've got a lot of interest in oncology. So cancer medicines, cancer therapies, cancer physicians, rheumatology. There's a lot of other medical fields extending from dermatology. There's plastic surgery and family medicine. And then one thing that we've been approached with as well is a couple of dental companies. So far, we've just been doing medicine, but in terms of physicians, but it's possible that we go into dentists after next year.
Why did y'all go with a safe round to start?
Yeah, so part of it was thinking about how best to structure a really quick deal with kind of from a legal as well as equity standpoint. Like I said, we're moving really fast, and so we're trying to close this round quickly. And the investors that we've worked with so far have been, really comfortable with the SAFE. It's something that's pretty well established now. Obviously, open to discussions about other deals as well, but the SAFE has been working well.
Can patients log into the app as well?
So right now, this isn't something that the patients log into. We have some third-party integrations in the works with some portals where patients can submit information. Sometimes they can be part of this process too, and it accelerates things, but that's further down the development timeline.
What is the total addressable market, or TAM, and what are your 2 keys to scaling?
Yeah, so the one thing that pharmaceutical companies spend more money on than developing drugs is figuring out ways to reach physicians. Just in the United States, pharmaceutical companies spend $48 billion a year trying to reach physicians. And so that's our initial market. Obviously, the global market beyond pharmaceuticals and medical devices is a lot larger. And then there was a second question.
Yes. What are your 2 keys to scaling?
Yeah, two keys is very simple, which is getting in front of more physicians and providing really good value to these physicians. The number one metric for us is churn. We don't want to be, a spam company or something that's not delivering value to physicians and their patients. We definitely want to be, trying to move this industry away from many of the unethical practices that are out there today. And so providing high value to patients and physicians and keeping them on board is our key.
What does adding value to the physicians actually represent? Like, what is a success for them?
Yeah, for sure. So for example, there is a patient a couple of weeks ago that had a really rare disease. The physician knew that there's one drug that's out there that's in clinical trial, but had no way to get in contact with that company. We actually, worked with them to figure out the vice president of clinical operations, move through their entire process, figure out all the forms, and we're able to get that patient onto a clinical trial. And so saved that physician a lot of time, and then allowed them to deliver really great care to the patient.
Who are your direct competitors, and what are your main differentiators?
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to engaging physicians out there, there's not really too much, unfortunately, as a physician. There's some things that are out there right now, like conferences. So oftentimes a company will have a booth at a conference, and these companies are seeing that they're not deriving a lot of value. And as a physician, I don't spend a lot of time at booths. I spend a lot of time, learning drugs and at the main events. There are a couple of digital competitors, but they oftentimes will do simple things like scheduling meetings with reps at Max, or allowing companies to put a banner ad on a website. But there's no real platform. Actually, we've met with the heads of a lot of companies, and that's kind of been one of the big factors for them to be working with us, is that we're pretty differentiated from what's in the market.
How did you come up with $200 per doctor per month?
Yeah, so luckily with Sandy's experience, just seeing how much the pharmaceutical companies are paying. So for example, one of our clients, they spent about $250,000 on a virtual booth. They spent about $150,000 marketing that virtual booth, and they got in front of about 50 physicians to talk to them about their product or talk about their resource. And so the value of a physician is really high if you can have a really high value resource. Obviously, we want to be a great gatekeeper in terms of making sure that everything's high value. But we think that the pricing is actually a little low, and that's also why we got a lot of pharma interest.
What is your economic moat? Basically, how do you maintain a competitive advantage over your competitors?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's all about value. And so from a scale, so there's two things. One is scale, so reaching more physicians quickly is definitely a big piece, and then two is value. As we're developing better ways to interact with the different resources, beyond just making a paper form electronic, integration with some of their back-end technologies. Those are things that we believe are really going to help us in the future and maintain these differentiations.
How do you recruit physicians onto the platform?
Yeah, we've done a couple of things. We've done, just straight paid advertisements, and then we've also been working within the societies and other networks. Our paid advertisement cost per customer acquisition is about $60 per physician, and then with the other networks, it's kind of scale from there.
There are actually quite a few other questions in there, so you guys should definitely follow up. I've got, the email sandy@empiricus.com
Yep.
up there. All right,
Perfect.
fantastic.
All right,
thank you so
guys.
much. Let's give him a round of applause, you guys. And we are now joined by WineView, and we're going to clap again because I feel like it. Come on.
Bottoms up, ever see you go? Got a couple bottles, but a couple ain't enough. Bottoms up, throw your hands up. Tell security we bout to tear this club up. Bottoms up, pocket full of green. Girl, you know I love the way you shake it in them jeans. Bottoms up, throw your hands up. Bottoms up. You know what it is, girl, we back up in this thing. Money stay in my pocket, girl, I'm like a walking bank. Tell me what you drink, tell me what you think. If I go get these bottles, we go alcohol and tank. Calling all the girls, do you hear me? All around the world.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gary Campbell. I'm the founder of WineView, and I'm going to cut straight to the opportunity. We're seeking $750,000 in a seed round. And I'm here to talk to you about why we believe WineView is the future of choosing wine. So at WineView, we believe that everyone worldwide should be able to enjoy great wine. So we are creating an app that allows people to see a beautiful design, use it freely, and it's easy. Super simple, super fast, faster than anything on the market. So the problem that we found is that most people, when it comes to wine, are overwhelmed. I mean, if you look at the guy in the photo, some of you guys may find that familiar. And that's because on average, there are over 2,000 bottles of wine in grocery stores. This leads to over 70% of people choosing wine just based off the label design. So does it look expensive? Is it going to impress my friends, etc. So the solution to this is augmented reality. So with a simple tap of our app, users can hover over any bottle of wine and instantly see 3 popular ratings, one from Wine Spectator, one from Wine Enthusiast, one from peer-to-peer. They can see 3 recommended pairings, and if they really want to dive deep, they can see the grape type, region, alcohol percentage, average price, taste profile, etc. They can save wine to their personal digital cellar, and so on. Now, the total addressable market for this is $4.32 billion. But our target market initially is $165 million. And how we arrived at this is based off our business model. So our business model is impression-based. So anytime someone hovers over a bottle of wine, depending on the content that's represented there, we earn money. So there's 3 different tiers that we have set up. The first tier is badges. So let's say that a winery, their wine has an organic a wine or locally sourced grapes, or they won an award last year, they can actually display an AR icon above their bottle of wine to interest users to show them that their wine is unique. That's 1 cent per impression. The next is an auto-playing video. So think drone shots of the vineyard, a winemaker pressing the wine, a sommelier talking about the taste of the wine. Just a really high engaging auto-playing video that's in an augmented reality format. That's 7 cents per impressions. And finally, and I really love this one, so this is the 3D augmented reality character. So imagine you're hovering over a wine and all of a sudden you start to see these animated vines grow up from the shelf, wrap around the bottle, and you have these little wine guys come out and they're grabbing the the grapes and putting them in baskets and carrying them off right in front of your phone screen. Really high engaging for users. Think like Snapchat, like the Snapchat alien blew up. Think of that style. Now, our user acquisition strategy is relatively simple, and we've actually already partnered with several grocery stores. We have 5 along the coast, and we're beta testing over in the Kroger across the street, also known as the Disco Kroger, I've been told. So they have giant databases of their customers. If you have a membership there, they either have your email or phone number or other way of contacting you. So we'll have access to these. And the reason we'll have access to these is because we're the only app out there that is helping grocery stores sell wine. Other competitors are direct to consumer. So they're trying to take away business from the grocery stores, and grocery stores are freaking out because our biggest competitor, Vino, has been quoted saying that they want to be the Amazon of wine, which what does Amazon do to bricks and mortar? They steamroll them, right? So they're looking for alternatives actively, and every time we brought this up, they have snapped up the opportunity to say, yes, please, any alternative to them because they are taking our business left and right. We also have a shareability feature that animates anytime somebody shares a wine. So think TikTok, you know, whenever you share on Instagram, you see their little logo, that's at the bottom, so there's some virality there as well. I could dive deep into how we compare. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole bunch of time, but pretty much in short, we're one of the few apps that actually implements AR functionality. So our scalability long-term, as people move more towards AR, is great. We have live results. Most other apps, you have to take a picture, wait, look at it, exit out, take a picture, wait. You can literally just hover over any wine with our system. There's no account required, so none of that annoying. You have to have a Facebook to sign in or anything like that. And we have results in less than 1.5 seconds. We're the fastest reader on the market. We're super excited to be here. This is our team. Atlanta's been great. We formed our advisory board recently, and we're starting to form our board in the Atlanta market. And I wanted to end with this. So why WineView? So the world is moving in along with technology very, very quickly. And with that, people eventually won't be using WineView with their phones. They'll be using them with their wearables, their glasses, their AR glasses, which might sound weird, but if you think back to Apple, when they came out with the iWatch, it was kind of weird to see people talking into their watch, right? But now it's a commonplace thing. And we're already starting to see the shift to AR wearables. Like at CES, they announced some great improvements in the tech. So eventually, our users will be able to go in the store, have their glasses on, and say, hey, WineView, I'm having steak tonight. I want to spend $17 and I want 2 bottles of wine. And then they'll be able to look at the aisle up and down. And then in a few seconds or less, there will be the bottles that are perfect for that occasion lit up for them to grab and go. That is why WineView is the future of choosing wine.
All right. First question up. Do you guys use the TinEye API? T-I-N.
TIN API? No, so actually our reading system, we're using Vuforia for our initial target images, but we're actually building a custom algorithm to stitch different targets together to make it the highest readability available on the market.
Have you raised a pre-seed round?
Yes, so we raised an initial pre-seed round of $50,000 that got our prototype built and launched, and we actually just launched, and if you want, you can check out the app here if you scan that QR code. Our version 2.0 actually got approved today, so if you want to check that out, you can go look in the App Store and Google Play.
Fantastic. You guys should definitely scan that QR code if it works through the screen. If not, let us know and we will get that to you. Don't forget to add your questions into the Slido.com. Christian is all over it. He put his questions in before you even finished talking. So what is the valuation for the $750K?
Right now, we're basing it off of a $5 million valuation.
How will grocery stores know your app is actually leading to increased wine sales?
Right, so eventually we're thinking of implementing, well, first we have analytics. So once the users agree to the terms and conditions, you can actually see what wines they're scanning, which ones they're standing on longer. And with the ones that specifically have content, we can show which ones are going at a higher volume. So we're working on integrating DSD wine lists and overall sales channels with grocery stores.
How do you manage under 21 age users from using the app?
Right, so we're working on potentially adding an age feature, but what's good is that they can't buy wine through the app. So it's an educational tool. So they can scan on any wine, but that doesn't mean they can buy it. So because we're not selling wine direct to consumer, we really aren't really bound by that. Our lawyers have said that we don't need to really worry about that end just yet.
You're just preparing them for the future.
Absolutely, I understand that.
I was asked, how do you get the $5 million valuation?
Right, so that's based off our initial numbers, our target initial market, and kind of where our IP is, especially with our algorithm. So that's with our technology that we've already built, our back-end CMS. We've built a couple things that are fairly unique in terms of machine learning to really identify the labels. So that's where we're getting that number.
How do you build the wine UPC database?
That would be a question for my technical co-founder, so.
That means you should follow up afterwards, guys.
Yes, definitely shoot me an email. I'll get that answer for you.
Fantastic. Let's see. Any other questions? Are you targeting grocery stores or wine makers?
Right, so grocery stores are really just a means to user acquisition. So wineries and brands, we actually got our first, or we're getting our first letter signed by one of the top 10 suppliers in the States here. Actually, next week I have a really good meeting with them. So our target for revenue is definitely the wineries and suppliers represent like 300 brands. So
Congratulations on that signing. That's awesome.
thank you.
What wines are loaded into the platform, and how many grocery stores have you signed up?
Okay, wines. So right now, we actually just redid our CMS, so we have about 40,000 in the system, and we're adding in about 1,000 an hour. So our target is eventually have 10 million wines. Pretty much we want to be able to read every wine in the world. And then as for grocery stores, we have 5 on the coast, Mobile, Alabama. That's where we're coming from. We're moving up here, and we're in talks with Kroger.
Discuss your strategy to grow the user base.
Right, so like I said, the grocery store partners are going to be pretty key. Obviously paid advertising, but we want to see our core demographics first before we start marketing. We have some really cool marketing campaigns. A guy driving home from work, and he gets a call from his wife, hey, my parents decided to stop over for dinner, grab a bottle of wine. And he's like, okay, I got this, and then he just panics at the wheel. And just some really cool stuff. Think Credit Karma, how their advertising went, that kind of awkward but funny commercials. So paid advertising, of course, and then our shareability feature, and then the databases of emails and phone numbers from the grocery store partners.
There's a question about the strategy to grow the users in the app, not just the grocery stores themselves.
Could you?
Which I feel like you just answered.
Yeah.
Is there more of a question about the number of grocery stores?
Yeah, so, how to acquire grocery stores. I feel like I'm out of time here. To make it short, it's actually been really easy. So I've just been walking in, finding the wine steward, the head there, and saying, hey, look, here's what we do. We can help you fight Vivino taking your customers, give them a quick demo of the app, and then just the fact that they don't have to worry about Vivino taking their business down the run has been enough for them to say absolutely, because it costs them nothing at all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause for WineView. And don't forget to stick around at the end. We will be voting for audience favorite in the same place you're putting your Q&A. Let's give a warm round of applause for our last presenter of the night. Please ignore the beeping. Udder. Woo!
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Hey, walk it like I talk it. Walk it.
Christian, to your earlier question, this walk-on music was selected by the presenter.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Ay. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Yeah. Take my shoes and walk a mile, something that you can't do.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Justin Matthews, and I'm here with Udder, a social media trivia game where we believe that game night just got personal. So I want to ask you guys a question first. What do you play on game night? When I think back to my family game nights, we played 2 staples in the board game community, and those were Scrabble and Monopoly. And then as I got older, we switched to more digital games like Heads Up and Piccolo. And all these games are great and different in their own ways, from the gameplay to the design and everything else. But the one common denominator with all of these games is the social connection and interaction we have when we're playing with them, with our friends and family. And, now a lot of our social interactions really happen on social media. And I we all have a couple social medias to our name, right? And mine personally that I love and I think is above all of the rest of them is Twitter. And Twitter is great because you have all these viral moments happening every minute of the day, right? And what I began to think, I'm like, man, what if there was a way I could combine these profound, reckless, funny things that we're saying on Twitter into a game that I could play with my friends and family. And I'm happy to say that game is here, and it was born, and it is Udder. Isn't it cute? So I'm going to take you guys into a demo. And I'm going to start with team mode. So there's two ways to play. Okay, let me zoom in so you guys can really see it. Perfect, okay, cool. So there's two ways to play. We'll start with team mode first. And I just want to say, too, the reason Udder's really great is because it's not outdated like the old Monopoly and Scrabbles that we're playing. It's personal to you, and it can be played anywhere, in person or virtually. And so I'm going to start showing you team mode first. And what we have here is where I can enter in my own Twitter account, and from that, we pull the best tweets from all those accounts, and then we have you and your friends try and guess on them. So it's really easy, real fun, real simple, all that. So I'm already in progress in a game, and this is a couples game night with me and my fiance and my brother and sister-in-law. So the game has already started, and it's my sister-in-law Shayna's turn, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it. It's a tweet that says, "I feel seen," with a smiley face. I'm getting ravioli. How'd you know that so fast? This person is scrolling on Yelp. Yes. Okay. And I've already guessed it. This is my fiance, Dorothy. So that makes sense. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go to another question. And this is Dorothy guessing between my brother and sister-in-law. And it says, "Let's go. Proud of you girls. Great trip overall." On to the next one. Jamaican flag, Jamaican flag, Jamaican flag. Okay, a year ago. I'm going to guess that is my sister-in-law. And I was right. Just like that. And that was fun. We'll do one more just to show you guys how it looks. And this is my brother guessing. And we're going back and forth. And a couple of workouts, the couple that works out together stays together. Hear about how Dorothy and I did our fitness program with Lean and Slim. It's hard to read all this so quickly. So just counting down, only a couple seconds. I think that's me. Yep, and I was right. So 3 for 3, no big deal. All right, so that is how you play the game. We're gonna go back and forth, and then at the end of the game, you'll get a score sheet, and you'll know who won and who comes out victorious for the couples game night. So that's how we play team mode. But there's other categories we have as well. So let's say you don't have a Twitter account. I don't know why, but not everyone has Twitter. And that's okay. Twitter account is required to play. We have these other categories pre-selected where we've handpicked some of the best content and best creators out there related to a certain topic. So Ball is Life, we got your athletes, sports accounts. Now showing, we have movie stars, TV celebrities, and we have LOL, just random parody accounts. So there's something to play for any person. So now that you guys know how to play, I'll tell you about who's all played so far. So to date, since last fall when we launched, we've had 350 games played and 100,000 laughs created. And that's just an estimate. It could be more. And here's some of the versions of the game we played. A certain game night, you could throw it up on a TV and mirror so everyone could see it. We've done virtual game nights as well, where we're playing it over Zoom. And there's just multiple ways to play, because this is a website, udder.fun, and you just go to the website and you can play it on a phone, an iPad, laptop, etc. So in true Shark Tank fashion, the question always comes up, what are your sales? Well, we don't have any sales to date, and that's by design. We really wanted to make sure that the game was stable and that it was fun to play. And now that we have those two boxes checked, we are ready to take on more people. And how we plan to do that first is through some new categories. So paid categories is one way. And then through sponsored questions and sponsored categories as well is another way we plan on generating revenue. So that's my presentation. Thank you guys for listening. Also thank my team, Tope, Dorothy, my brother, sister-in-law, for all the help and all the testing and everyone else who's tested. And I have a challenge for you guys. I want you to play Udder. And if you follow, tag, and share a picture of your game, I will send you a sticker. I have the sticker right here. I don't know if you can see it right here. And this is not a fake Instagram contest like you see all the time and you're going to win a car and you never do. I will send you a sticker, and you have the possibility to win $50 gift card. So that's my presentation.
First of all, Justin, I need a sticker, as you can see from the back of my laptop. I don't know where I'm going to fit it, but we're going to make it happen.
We can make that happen.
Okay, actually had a question come in as soon as you started presenting, and it came with the awesome shirt comment. Where did you come up with the name Udder?
So Udder was originated just when I was, it's funny, it's not like too deep. I just asked my brother, I'm like, hey, like, we're trying to think of this game. It's all about like bringing in new tweets, and he was like, Udder. And I was like, I like it, it's short, and Udder.com wasn't even available, but Udder.fun I feel still works. And that's really it, nothing too crazy.
Y'all add your questions on Slido.com. ATLSV77 is the code. What are your thoughts on an iteration where you get more points the faster you answer, like Kahoot?
Yeah, so we have thought about that. The MVP of this was really we could start with one game on one phone, similar to like how you play Heads Up, right? But we are looking to branch out into Kahoot where everyone has their own controller and is guessing where they can, get different points, how fast they guess. So it is something we're exploring. But it is just more complex as you get more phones and have to add a room. So we just started this way first.
Is there a target audience that you're going for?
Yes, so target audience is really, it's really broad, right? There's really not a specific age group that we're going for, but obviously people that are inclined with the social media age and that are familiar with it is kind of who we're targeting and think who would be interested in this game, but also just trivia lovers, people that really enjoy just trying to guess things, and all the different people that play games and are trying to do new things is something we're...
Another question came in that I think is related, which is how large is the market?
That is a great question. And I would say it's really hard to answer that question because this game kind of fits in between so many different spheres, where we have people that are interested in trivia, people that like social media, and then just people that like new games. So it's a collection of all of those, and I think we can get people that are interested in every one of those directions. So I really can't say the exact number, but that's how we're approaching it now.
Can you dive deeper into the sponsorship model and how you'll generate revenue?
Yes. So through the sponsorship model, how we plan on generating revenue is, first off, we'd have sponsored questions. And let's say we have a different category called business is business, is an idea I have, where we have Wendy's, McDonald's, Walmart, all the different businesses that already have their own Twitter accounts. We would just go ahead and embed certain tweets that they've had into the game, and so that's one way we would embed those sponsored questions. And then also there's sponsored categories, so we could allow someone to control a whole category with different Twitter accounts. So like you saw, Ball is Life, that could be any number of things that we could do.
Are you filtering out tweets that are inappropriate or have been flagged as fake news?
So we're really standing by really what Twitter's rules are on fake news. So if it's been flagged on Twitter, we would filter it out from the game, is how we're approaching that.
Besides the limit of needing a Twitter account, if users aren't very active, would that affect gameplay?
It would not affect gameplay at all. Even if you have 10 tweets, we could still use those. With only 10 tweets, eventually after you play 3 or 4 games, you might see the same tweets. But it doesn't matter your activity, we can pull those best tweets out of there and you can be a part of the game.
Will Udder be a mobile application?
It's a good question. So we are eventually pursuing that. That's another part of our growth strategy and having Udder in all the different places that you could play it. So right now it's a website that was the easiest to develop, but eventually iOS and Google Play Store.
All right, I don't have any more questions on here, and you've got 15 seconds left, so we'll go ahead and call it a day. Great job, Justin. Let's give him one more round of applause here, guys. All right, so this is the part, Justin, if you'll swap me for the podium here. This is the part where you vote. Go on to Slido.com. You can only vote once. I'm sorry. No stuffing the boxes here. Go on to Slido.com. The code is, as you can see behind me, ATLSV77. Up at the top, you've got an audience Q&A tab, and you've got live polls tab. We've got some people who are already voting, and currently there's somebody in the lead, but I can see it moving in real time. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to vote. It's 8:02 on my computer here, so we're going to give you 2 minutes. Hilton, let's give them some music while we're waiting for the voting.
Well, there's a party going on right here.
I'm not going to dance for you. You won't
It's
enjoy
a
that.
celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good time and your laughter too.
Actually, Hilton, this is a great time for me to pitch getting other people to come up here and pitch. I apologize. I know I told you to give me more music. I lied. All right. So while y'all are voting and we're waiting for things, we've got a pretty clear winner right now. So if you really want to vote for your favorite, you got to get in there. You got to get in there in the next minute. If you would like to present in our currently virtual, but hopefully eventually back to the physical space, please send me an email. You can send it to me at allie@allieandtheatl.com, or you can follow up through the Meetup page or through Twitter. I can answer all of those. We just require that startups be based in Atlanta, that you are a startup, whether it's age, funding, size, versus a vendor. So we don't accept like CPAs and stuff like that. I'm sorry, y'all are great, but not necessarily a startup. And then we ask that you have something that's demoable either in a beta version, if it's a software or application, or that it is a physical prototype, if it is a physical product. We've had people up here pitching things like nets that you throw socks into. So, send me a tweet or a message and I will tell you if we can get you up here. All right, we are at 8:04, so I am calling the voting right now. And the winner for tonight is Empiricus. Fantastic. Empiricus now goes up against other people for a pitch off in June. So you guys should all tune in June. You should tune in March 1st for our final one. But all of the presenters who have won in the last 5 will go up against each other for ATV, hot desks, and parking. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you for voting. Thank you for talking. Thank you for engaging with the presenters. We appreciate you. Please follow up with the presenters afterwards. You can find their information on the Meetup page or via Twitter.